weren't too creative when they put together the month of March, because after a night off on Thursday, it was the Lynx in Florida again at the Everblades Center in Fort Myers. And this game didn't turn out much different. There was another loss for the Lynx, 3-1. Bob Berg had the lone goal for us. Lynx were just 1 of 4 on the power play. This win for Florida, mind you, they're 23rd in the last 26 games, so they are red hot. The Everblades' 8th consecutive victory. And you know, we need to talk about the playoff picture because it's getting fuzzier all the time for the struggling Lynx. Let me show you the Southern Conference top 8 now. Now, the top 8 in the point standings, these 8 teams right now are definitely in the playoffs if the playoffs started today. But the top 5 don't have to play opening round series, and you kind of would like to have that happen, get a couple of days off. Look at the Lynx. Right now, they're tied for that 5th spot with South Carolina. So, with 7 games to go, the Lynx, if they want to be 5th or better, need to start winning some games. Next on Power Play, we check in with head coach Dan Weibe. We visited on the Lynx bench where we talked about what it's like managing a game. Stay tuned. Now this.
All that seafood reminds me of my days in the great North Atlantic.
At Long John Silver's, our quality starts with deep water whitefish, hand battered and cooked to crunchy perfection, or breaded with our new country-style blend of spices and corn flour. Our shrimp are tender, our coleslaw fresh, our fries hot and crispy, and our hush puppies from our own special recipe. And now get all your favorites in our new seafood sampler for just $3.99.
North Atlantic, we're goldfish from Maury's Pet Store.
Long John Silver's, can't resist that crunchy stuff.
It's the Tompkins Company Trade-In Sale. Trade in your old windows for replacement vinyl windows and receive $109 apiece. That means you get $545 for 5 windows, $1090 for 10 windows, and $1635 for 15 windows. These solid vinyl replacement windows are custom-made, fitted, and installed to beautify your home and lower your fuel bills. The Tompkins Company, your original window people. Thinking of vinyl siding or a sunroom for your home? Call the Tompkins Company now for a free consultation, free estimates, and lowest prices ever.
Why is News 12 your news station?
Because when news breaks, we go all out to bring you the whole story.
We didn't just get here on the scene.
Stories that affect your life.
It's all about teamwork, and our news team covers Aiken Augusta like no one else.
With the experience and dedication you've come to trust.
News 12 at 6 o'clock with Richard Rogers and Gloria, Aiken Augusta's most experienced anchor team. Only on your news station.
Holy smokes, Wednesday is St. Patrick's Day, and you need to celebrate with the Lynx as they take on the Florida Everblades at 7:05, and it's Jones Intercable Night. Bring your cable bill to the Civic Center box office to get $3 off a ticket. Also, Lazy Boy will be giving away 2 recliners at the game, and there's more. The Lynx players will be wearing special St. Patty's Day jerseys, and after the game, those jerseys will be given to lucky fans. Spend St. Patrick's Day with the Lynx Wednesday at 7:05.
You are back with Power Play, and this is a head coach's view in the East Coast Hockey League, and specifically here at the Ice House at the Civic Center. This is Dan Weibe, head coach of the Lynx, and you know what? Miracles never cease to affect my life, because usually he doesn't let any news people on his bench, but we're here today. This is your place, isn't it?
This is where it all happens. This is where I bark out the orders and try and get the guys motivated to play. And you know, it's just a situation where during the game a lot of things happen very quickly, and you never know what's going to happen, what the ref's going to call, or things happen very quickly. And you got to decide what lines are going over the boards at certain times, and the game is so quick and so intense that you got to be on top of things very quickly.
How much berating and conversation goes on between you and the officials? They seem to be, I guess they occasionally come by your way.
Well, there's the standard, you know, leg on the bench type where you're, you know, come on over here and talk to me. And then you got the, you know, when you're a little more serious, you get a little down closer to the bench or closer to the boards here, and you want to wave them over, you know.
And they come.
Sometimes they come, but not all the time. And then there's the last one where you go right, you open the door up and you stand right by the door and say, hey, look, you know, I'm really teed off. I got to have somebody over here to answer my questions immediately.
Hey, how about when we had that situation at the end of the second period last week in a game, and you actually went out on the ice because everybody was out there ready to fight, and you went out there in your good Bangs clothes.
Well,
I was worried for you.
I wasn't too worried. I got guys like Kopech and Razanzoff that I hope will stand up for me. But it was a situation where we were very short-handed and we couldn't afford to have any more penalties. So our guys were milling around with their guys, and it could have gotten into a situation where there would have been a huge brawl, and we just didn't get off the ice. And I just said, hey guys, we got to get off the ice right now immediately. So
can I ask you an honest, serious question that
I hope so.
As a sports fan, I would ask you this, and I hope you can be honest. Do you ever find yourself getting caught not knowing what to do? And spacing out for a moment and sweating and saying, I'm the coach and I should know the answer right now to this situation?
Well, there are situations like rules, like you don't know all the rules to a T. I mean, you got to know the balance of them, but it's very important. There are situations where, you know, you don't have the same interpretation as the referee does, and sometimes he's wrong and sometimes I'm wrong. So you're kind of lost in some of those situations, but
as far as who your lineup is going to be in a shootout or your lines, that's all determined before the ball game.
No, the lines are all predetermined. When you go into shootout, I decide right at the end of the game, who's going to go in the shootout and what order it's going to be and stuff like that. But sometimes what happens is, and the players sometimes do get frustrated with me, is, you know, I'm so caught up in the action and what's happening and following the play and watching what's happening that I'm not calling the lines out quick enough. You know, some of the guys are like, well, who's up now, kind of thing.
So that is your job to tell people when to go.
Yeah, what line's up and who's going. And sometimes, you know, like I say, when I get caught up in the action, you know, you forget about who's going over the boards and what lines.
Now, you're not working a stopwatch. That's just a gut thing.
That's right, exactly. Well, you want to have some flow, and there is some strategy in it in terms of trying to have line matchups and stuff like that. So.
Well, Lachlan, go ahead and pan down. I mean, this is it right here. It's not a very big area, this bench area, but this is the Lynx home bench, and this is. I would suggest or ask you, don't you feel more comfortable here than anywhere as opposed to doing a TV show, doing a radio talk show out in the community? This is where you're in your element.
Absolutely. This is my office right here, and I enjoy it back behind the bench here. It's a lot of fun. It's very exciting. It's tough when you're down goals and stuff, like the one game, even against Louisiana, you know, when we were struggling. You know, you got the weight of all the fans on your shoulders, and you can just see them staring at you. You got all these eyes on you, and you're thinking, God, what am I going to do now? But you know, the guys play hard, and it's not for lack of effort, whether we win or lose. I mean, bottom line is, as long as the guys are putting forth 100% effort, I can't.
Last question: craziest you've ever gotten, rudest you've ever gotten as a coach, and I'm talking about out of the Bobby Knight basketball mold. What have you done from this bench or other benches you've worked on?
Well, I haven't done too much this year. Typically,
best behavior this year.
The best behavior, that's right. I don't want to, you know, if I'm going to berate somebody, whether it's a player or the referee or something, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be not in front of the public. I'm going to do it below the stands. But last year in Roanoke, I had a real problem with Terry Koharski, and I really lost it on him. I went to the referee's locker room, and I was so mad I couldn't talk. I was like, so it was I was very emotional. I was very wound up, and fortunately, I didn't get a penalty for it or get any type of fine, so got away scot-free.
Well, we appreciate being here, and I've been dying to say this ever since the Lynx came to town. Put me in, Coach.
All right.
I'm ready to play.
You're ready to play, all right.
Paul Davis along with Dan Weibe for PowerPlay, and the show continues after this.
Congratulations goes out to pulp mill employee Henry Brown on being named Employee of the Month for March '99. Henry was selected based on his outstanding work history at the mill, especially in the area of safety. Henry's a 30-year veteran of the Augusta Mill and has learned to recognize safety hazards. He also has a special talent for surveying a job and coming up with the safest way to get it done. Congratulations to Henry Brown for becoming International Paper's Employee of the Month for March.
Put your St. Patrick's Day plans on ice. Wednesday at 7 o'clock, the Augusta Lynx take on the Florida Everblades in one of the most important games of the season. What? You don't have a ticket? Turn on News 12 and turn it up. Paul Davis of News 12 and Jerry Canan, the voice of the Lynx, bring you the game live from the Civic Center. PowerPlay Prime Time. Wednesday at 7 o'clock, only on News 12. Television home of the Augusta Lynx.
For better mental health, take a tip from Dr. Crane.
Me and my stupid advice.
Be kind. Stay fit.
Run, Niles, run! The beast is loose!
Remember, family is everything.
I've forgotten what a weird little person you are.
And most important, laugh out loud.
Yeah! Yeah!
For best results, Dr. Crane prescribes a healthy dose of Fraser.
Exactly.
Frasier, weekday mornings at 10:30 on News 12.
Police, this is Mary from Eastside Neighborhood Watch. That van without the plates is...
It looks like 2 men are inside.
Are you on a wireless phone? I need your location.
Yes, I'm moving down the 500 block.
All over the country, neighbors are protecting neighbors with free wireless phones. If you're a part of a Neighborhood Watch Patrol, call 1-888-533-2677 to apply for a phone for your community watch group. It's a connection to safety.
You are back with PowerPlay. As always, I'm Paul Davis, and this is our Links in the Spotlight segment. And I haven't had a chance to talk to this guy because I've been out of town to the Super Bowl and the Daytona 500. You came to Augusta about a month ago. This is defenseman Mark DeSantis, and so far, so good for you here?
Pretty good, you know. I was a little disappointed in what happened there in Louisiana and that, but it's good to be here in Augusta. I get to play a little bit more, and, you know, we got a younger team here, so hopefully my experience can help these guys out.
Give the Augusta, the Georgia Lina audience an idea of what it's like down there in Louisiana, Lafayette. We thought we had it good here with fan support, but it's really crazy down there in Lafayette.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, I remember when I played in the league about 3 years ago, going into a place like that. It was their first year in the league, and the fan support was unbelievable. They're getting like 11,000 to a game, you know. And it was still like that a little bit there, but it's kind of died down a bit, you know, and they're in their fourth season and stuff. And the thing is with Louisiana is they always had great teams for the last 3 years, and they just can't seem to put it together, you know. And
put it together in terms of winning a championship.
Exactly, you know, they've always had good players and that, but it doesn't seem that when they get to the playoffs, it doesn't seem that they can put it together. But
you got an interesting history. You came up with the Mighty Ducks, I guess, huh?
Yeah, coming out of junior, you know, I got bypassed in the draft and all that, and I guess I was kind of like a late bloomer. I was 21 before I signed as a free agent with Anaheim. You know, I was pretty proud about that, and I was in their organization for about 3 years, and things didn't really work out, and I decided to move on. In my last year, I asked for a buyout, and I moved on and played in Jacksonville in the East Coast League, and had a really good year there, and I signed with San Antonio in the IHL, and I've been playing there for the last 2 seasons.
And I guess the story in the paper about how you refused to report to Tallahassee, but that was really not as a selfish decision on your part as it may have seemed. Explain that. There was a coach there that you'd been with for so many years, and you just wanted to play for somebody else.
Yeah, a lot of people thought it was a money problem coming from Louisiana, that the reason why I wasn't reporting to Tallahassee was because of money, but it wasn't that fact at all. It was the fact that, like I talked to Brubaker, who's the coach here in Tallahassee over the summertime, and you know, I expressed that you know, it was time to move on, and it was nothing personal to him. That I just wanted to play for a new coach. You know, I played for him the last 4 years, and I just wanted to see what it would be like for play for somebody new. You know, and when I got traded there, I was kind of disappointed, and I expressed those feelings to him again. He was kind of upset about it, but you know, Augusta made a deal, you know, and he couldn't refuse it, and so here I am in Augusta.
A month into your Augusta experiment, you think you're going to like Weibe?
Oh, definitely. You know, the thing is with Weibe and with the team, it's a young team, and Weibe is only in his second year of coaching, so it's been kind of tough on him too, you know. So
are you helping him?
Definitely. You know, in my 6th year and the experience I have from the IHL, you know, he welcomed me here, and he said, listen, if you can help out in any way, just don't be afraid to talk to these guys and help me out. You know, I'm here by myself basically, and so just do what you can to help out.
Well, that's kind of cool. I mean, I like hearing that. You like the playoffs are coming up. You think this club can? I mean, you've been with a team that you said for some unknown reason when it got down to the playoff time couldn't put it all together. What about this club here? What do you think?
Definitely. You know, I mean, we're a young team, and the thing is with young guys, it's consistency. That's what they have to work on. That's why they're at this level. There's a lot of guys on this team that are under contract with NHL teams, you know, and so like I've been there and done it, and me and the few of the other older guys are trying to help to push these guys along, you know. And the big thing is playing at this level is working on your consistency. And I think, you know, I've seen this team play on their best games, and I mean, we can beat any team in the league, but it's just showing up to play every night, and that's a tough thing that we have to work on.
Talk about your future. What do you want to do now after a couple of years left maybe in this league? Or I guess you want to go up to the bigs still, don't you?
You know, you never want to lose sight of that dream of playing in the NHL, but, you know, it's pretty tough at being 27 years of age. You know, it's kind of past me. I really don't want to think about that, but Well, the things that I've been looking at a lot is Europe. You know, I've got an Italian background, and there's a lot of teams that are calling me this summer to play over there. And I think that at this point in my career, you have to look at it as financial. And you know, the most money you're going to make, I would think would be in Europe. You know, because it's tax-free money. So I'll be looking at that. I got to weigh my options in the summertime, see how the season goes here, see what these guys think about bringing me back, or you know, it's up to them what they want to do, and then. I'll make a decision in the summertime.
Last question. People have seen you for a month, but what do you like about yourself as a hockey player? What do you think your strength is?
I try to be a leader out there, you know, and I try to be vocal and get guys more involved in the game. I just want to help out some of these younger guys, you know. I think being physical out there, and a lot of these guys can get intimidated by certain players on other teams, you know, and I like to step in. I mean, I'm not much of a fighter. But like I'll do it if I have to, but I'm not going to beat anybody up. But I'm going to step in there and stick up for my teammates.
Mark DeSantis, thank you very much. One of the newer members of the Augusta Lynx, and I haven't asked him yet, but maybe he'll share some of his recipes for pizza. He admitted that he's got the Italian background. That'll do it for Power Play and 101 this week. The show continues, rolls along after this.
Wow, cool, awesome.
With more than 250 interactive exhibits, the Paul S. Simon Discovery Theater, Science Store, and Outreach programs. The National Science Centers for Discovery is an incredible environment dedicated to reaching America's youth with the wonders of science and technology. Join the mission. Discover Fort Discovery, the smart place to have fun.
When America's in trouble, it turns to the military. When the military's in trouble, it turns to the Judge Advocate General. CBS presents an explosive season of JAG. See why JAG is the fastest growing drama on television. Don't miss JAG, CBS Tuesday.
We are women with epilepsy.
We are women with epilepsy.
We have observed connections between hormonal activity and seizure activity.
We have seen our observations dismissed, unacknowledged, unexplored.
Our bodies are telling us things that no one but us can hear.
Things that make us believe research can provide answers.
Better treatment.
A cure.
Your help is our hope.
Support the Epilepsy Foundation's campaign for women's health.
We are women.
We are women with epilepsy.
We will be heard.
The 14th annual A Day in the Country is coming May 1st and 2nd and is bigger and better than ever with 2 days of cars, crafts, and country music at the Augusta Exchange Club Fairgrounds. Now is the time to reserve your booth for the craft market and pre-register for the car show. Cars, trucks, street rods, antiques, and 4x4s wanted. So register now by picking up your application at News 12 or Kicks 99. 2 fun-filled days of cars, crafts, and country music. The 14th annual A Day in the Country with News 12 and Kicks 99.
Welcome back to Power Play, and a story I think will tweak the interest of the hockey star wannabe in your family. What a scene a few nights ago at the brand new ice form off of Bobby Jones Expressway. Let's just say that even this 43-year-old over-the-hill guy was dreaming back to my youth, to younger days when I did more athletic things. Time for this week's behind-the-scenes report, and what a great turnout Tuesday for the first night of the first ever adult Hockey League for Augusta. Enough locals have signed up to form 7 teams. It cost each of them $125 to be a part of this, and for many, relive their youths.
I scored a goal tonight, believe it or not.
And I'm getting the impression you're feeling pretty good about it.
I sure do, especially since today's my 56th birthday.
You're kidding me! He shoots and he scores on his 56th.
Yep.
The biggest rule difference between this and real hockey is the no checking policy, which means you very rarely get knocked on your butt on account of somebody else. Many of these fellas have seen 40 come and go long time ago.
Well, I wanted to come out and play against guys my age, and unfortunately they're not having a league that they've got everybody playing together, but I'm 50, kind of like that guy over there, and I wanted to come out and see how I do against, guys that have been away from skating for 30 years and come back and try it out.
For now, the 7 as of yet unnamed teams will play an 11-game schedule. League founders don't want to overdo it this first time around.
We're going to work till the end of April, and then what's going to happen, we'll have a summer league. We'll run probably 20, 25 games in the summer, and we'll start up back in September again and probably have a 26 to 32 game season.
Actually, I've been trying to put this together with John Bryan since day one, and the interest has just been incredible. The guys have just been calling and asking, and I'm not surprised at all. In fact, I see this doubling in the next 6 months.
The Adult Hockey League is still looking for more warriors. Call John Bryan at the ice forum if you think it's something you'd like to try. He scored there. It seemed like everybody was having a blast, and most people surprised at the decent caliber of play.
I think it's great. I think it's great caliber. A lot of good hockey players, and I think it's only going to get better.
I'm really surprised, very surprised, and excited about it, obviously.
An Adult Hockey League, an idea whose time has come for Augusta, but it never should have happened, or it never would have happened, had it not been for the interest drummed up by the Lynx, wrapping up their inaugural season. And you know, I was out there watching these guys, and I said, I can do this, but then I realized, you know, I would last about 30 seconds on the ice, and then I'd probably be out of breath, or a number of the guys who don't like me on television would take their opportunity to check me into the boards, and I don't want that. Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll talk about the schedule this week for the Lynx, back after this.
Congratulations goes out to pulp mill employee Henry Brown on being named Employee of the Month for March '99. Henry was selected based on his outstanding work history at the mill, especially in the area of safety. Henry's a 30-year veteran of the Augusta Mill and has learned to recognize safety hazards. He also has a special talent for surveying a job and coming up with the safest way to get it done. Congratulations to Henry Brown for becoming International Paper's Employee of the Month for March.
With diabetes, you feel more vulnerable.
Every day is a new challenge.
Diabetes has made me improve my life. I take better care now.
I could actually die from the flu.
Being in control is the only way to survive.
A flu shot? Guess you could say it's like a life preserver when you have diabetes.
I'm going to ask my doctor for a flu shot today.
It's a big deal we're talking about. Yeah, big deal. Big deal. Well, I only make big deals. Big deals, honey. I'm a big man. Honey, I do nothing that's small. Uh-oh. Better get Mako.
Car repairs aren't a big deal when you come to Mako. Free body estimates and Ambassador paint service for $189.95 are the big reason to say, uh-oh, better get Mako.
You're leaking!
On tap for the Lynxsters this week, an old familiar foe, both Wednesday and Friday. Augusta played Florida twice last week, you know that. 2 times more this week coming up. And then hoping to get some much-desired revenge against a pretty good Charlotte team on Saturday. Remember to get your tickets ahead of time or be left out in the cold. As for that Wednesday night encounter with the Florida Everblades, have you heard? PowerPlay goes prime time. Let me put a bug in your ear. Join Jerry Canan and myself for a broadcast starting at 7 o'clock St. Patrick's Day. This is going to be a wonderful show. Have a couple of features in that show. We give you 3 good periods of ice hockey. So if you haven't been to the Ice House yet, the Civic Center, if you can't make it Wednesday, we're going to make it seem like you actually made the trip this Wednesday night. PowerPlay in prime time. Check this out. Colorado and Philadelphia. Patrick Waugh is the goalie, and he swats at the puck, and Philadelphia had pulled their goalie. Patrick Waugh, the goalie for Colorado, shot and scored. when was the last time you saw a goalie in the NHL score a goal? Patrick Roy, one of the best in the league. I doubt he's done that often, maybe a couple of times in his career, Colorado and Philadelphia. New York Rangers and Boston Bruins on Friday. Look at Nicholas Sundstrom say hello to Brian Defoe. Brian Defoe in goal for the Bruins, minding his own business. Sundstrom comes into the crease. He goes to whack at him, and Sundstrom gives him a right to the cheek. I can tell you that the Bruins did win that game 5-4 over the Rangers. The Lynx would like me to tell you this. Tickets are going fast for Wednesday's St. Patrick's Day TV game here on News 12. I should mention that 24 Lynx practice jerseys will be auctioned off to benefit 2 local charities. The minimum bids start at $100. That's it for me in Power Play this morning. We'll see you Wednesday in prime time. Have a great rest of the week.
News 12's Power Play, brought to you by